Hey everyone, this is Anam. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be discussing the summary of lesson number 3 from the book Movements of Class 9, Iswaran the Storyteller by R.K. Lakshman. Storytelling is an art. Every story can be made interesting by adding an element of surprise. This story is about a man, Iswaran, who was a master storyteller. In this story, we have two characters, Mahendra and Iswaran. Mahendra was a junior supervisor in a firm. He supervised construction sites. Due to the nature of his job, he had to keep relocating from one place to the another every now and then. But he did not mind this. He was a bachelor and his needs were simple. He could easily adjust anywhere, so he did not mind relocating every now and then. Mahendra had a cook whose name was Iswaran. He was an asset to his master. Iswaran was quite attached to Mahendra and he followed him everywhere without complaining. Wherever Mahendra was posted, Iswaran would happily go with him. He used to do every work for him. He would cook delicious food for him. He washed his clothes, he managed his house, and he took care of all his needs. Not just this, he also did not let him get bored. He was an amazing storyteller, and every night he entertained him with his interesting stories. He did not make him feel the absence of a TV. Iswaran was very fond of reading. He used to read storybooks in Tamil. His own stories were inspired by Tamil writers. So he would often read these stories, he would improvise them, and then he would tell the same stories to Mahendra in such a manner that, it was his personal experience, as if the story was real. He made every story sound interesting by adding elements of surprises. While narrating a story, he would use his body gestures, facial expressions, and voice modulation in order to bring his characters to life. He often got up from his seat and enacted various incidents. Even though the stories seemed untrue, Iswaran narrated them in such a unique way that Mahendra listened to him with curiosity. He never interrupted Iswaran by saying that, okay, Iswaran, I think you're telling me a false story. He always listened to him patiently because he enjoyed it. Iswaran described even a simple incident in such detail, along with actions, that it would create suspense in the listener's mind. And he would often leave the story incomplete and would continue only after some time just to create suspense in the listener's mind. For example, once he told Mahendra the story of an elephant. The elephant had escaped from the jungle and entered the town. The beast reached Iswaran's school. As it destroyed the school property, all the students locked themselves up in the classroom. At that time, Iswaran was studying in one of the junior classes. He was watching the incident from the rooftop. He took a stick from the teacher and came downstairs. He walked towards the elephant as it threatened to attack him. Iswaran was not scared of it. He gathered all his strength and hit the elephant on its toenail. This attack stunned the elephant. It fainted and fell on the ground. After this, like I said, he did not complete the story in one go. He said that he was getting late for dinner. He went into the kitchen and started to cook. After having dinner, Mahendra had to remind him several times to tell him the ending. And finally, Iswaran said that, this was an art, a kind of martial art, which he had learned when he was a small boy, and he used the same thing on elephant. By hitting on his toenail, he had paralyzed his nervous system. Now, this is what Iswaran told Mahendra. He also said that later on, a doctor was called who was able to revive the elephant. Anyway, such kind of stories he would tell every day. One day, when Mahindra was sitting with Iswaran after having his dinner, Iswaran started telling him a ghost story, a story full of supernatural events. He also told him that the place they were living at, it was a haunted place. He said that he saw a skull lying on the path the very first day itself when they moved to this place, to this particular construction site. He also said that he often came across skulls and bones when he came back from the market after purchasing vegetables. He said that he saw a ghost of a woman which appeared on and off at midnight during the full moon. He also described the appearance of that woman ghost. He said that she looked dreadful. She was an ugly creature with matted hair and wrinkled face. She looked like a skeleton, and she always carried a fetus in her arms. Fetus means the corpse, the dead body of a child. After listening to this supernatural account, Mahendra became very uneasy. He scolded Iswaran for talking such rubbish. He said that ghosts did not exist. He called the women a figment of Iswaran's imagination. He also laughed at Iswaran and he told him to go to a doctor and get himself examined. Although Mahendra said all these things to Iswaran, but in reality he was afraid. Usually, before sleeping, he would enjoy looking outside the window, which was right next to his bed, and he would enjoy the landscape. But after listening to this incident, this account, he avoided looking outside the window because he was scared, he was afraid. Whenever he wanted to look outside, the memory of that woman ghost was refreshed in his mind. After some day, a scary thing happened with Mahendra. When he was sleeping, he was woken up from his sleep at midnight by a low moan close to his window. Low moan means somebody was crying in a very low voice, in a very low sound. At first, he thought it was a cat. For some time, he resisted the temptation to look outside the window. Like I said, he was so afraid to look outside the window, so he resisted his temptation. But the wailing became louder. The crying sound, it became louder and louder, and Mahendra couldn't resist the temptation to look outside anymore. He wanted to find out what was going on. And finally, he gathered all his courage and he looked outside the window. He saw a woman-like figure standing in the dark and she was holding something in her hands. So this woman, this figure, quite matched with the description told by Iswaran. Mahendra was dead scared. He got frightened. He broke into cold sweat and his heart stopped beating out of fear. He closed his eyes and he did not open them till the next morning. The next morning, when Mahendra woke up, he tried to reason with himself. He tried to give him logic about last night. He thought that it was a bad dream or it was an auto-suggestion. As in, since the time when Iswaran had narrated that incident about that ghost woman, so Mahendra was continuously thinking about it all the time. So he thought, since he was thinking about it, so that was the reason that he imagined it. It was all his imagination or a bad dream. So he got ready for his work. And just when he was about to leave for his work, Iswaran said that a few days ago, he had scolded him for discussing about the ghost, but last night he saw it himself. He said that yes, he heard the sound of moaning. He heard the crying sound which was coming from his room. So after listening to Iswaran, it was confirmed that Mahendra had seen the ghost in reality. It was not his imagination. It was not a trick played by his own mind, but there was a ghost in reality which Mahendra had seen last night. Mahendra was so frightened that immediately he left for his work and he resigned from the job the very same day. I think by now you all must have understood that he did not see any kind of ghost. It was just a trick played by Iswaran. Since Mahendra had scolded him the other day, so Iswaran just wanted to take his revenge, and he had narrated this story just like that, right? It wasn't a real thing. But Mahendra took it way too seriously, and he let his fears take over himself, which is why he lost his job. So we learn from this story that in such situations we should not panic and we should act reasonably, right? So yeah, that was all about it. If you liked it, then please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more such videos. Thank you.